Wow.
And I was just in West Palm Beach actually for about 5 days.
Oh,
Good
wow.
evening. We are live and on the air. I'm Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault on YouTube. And we are honored and excited to have Z Chun from TKO Press on tonight to interview him about his innovative comics that he's got going on. Mr. Chun, how are you doing tonight?
Good. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being on. And with me tonight are my co-hosts from Comics Guide 101, the fabulous Lou. Lou, how you doing?
Howdy. How's everybody doing?
Good, good. And then the always amazing Gabe Infinity Watch. How's it going, Gabe?
What's up, everybody? Welcome. Thanks for joining us, Z. Thanks for joining everybody in the chat. We're going to do some business tonight, I hope. This is going to be excellent.
Excellent headphones. That's what I feel a little bit like I forgot to bring my amazing headphones.
Well, there's still time if you want to go get them.
I used to work for Beats by Dre. I was their corporate trainer for a few years. So I used to get these headphones for free all the time. So.
Well, I think where I'd like to start, before we even get into the books, I think everybody's probably really interested in your innovative marketing strategy where you release your books fully formed as trades, complete set of floppies, and as a full set digitally. How did you come upon that business decision?
Well, I started out before I came up through independent film, and I'm now a TV writer and a film director. But my comic books were my first love, and I wanted to be a comic book writer and a comic book artist. And it was around the early '90s through the late '90s. I was really hardcore collecting comics, and I think for me, just looking at the companies that were out there, and also having lived through the first iteration of Image Comics, which was, very, very exciting. We wanted to prove to people that we were here to stay. And part of that was saying, okay, well, how do we do that? How do we show people that if they collect one of our issues that they're not going to, they're not going to be late. They're not going to wait, 6 months and then the company goes out of business. So we wanted to show that we had staying power. And so the binge release strategy was partly because of that. And also because I think modern audiences, with Netflix and Hulu, Amazon, they really have kind of a binge reading, binge watching mentality. And so we wanted to provide audiences with, kind of a modern way of consuming comic books.
Well, I personally love it because I hate having to wait and wait and wait for, 12 issues, 6 issues to come out, and then it gets collected. This way, I just go to the store or I order online from you guys and boom, I get the book and it's fully formed and I can read it right away, which I love. I have read all 4 of the TKO books. I read them and reviewed them on my channel, and I loved them all. I thought they were, not only were they quality produced, high quality productions, but you really got some top quality writers and artists involved too.
Mm-hmm. I think that was one of the impressive
things. We're really excited by the creative teams that we put together in the first and second wave of books, and we're going to have some, I think, dynamite people in the third and fourth wave as well. We're really proud of the books. We're really one of the things that we pride ourselves on is, in the binge release strategy, also to be able to work with writers and artists to tell a self-contained story that could still go on in multiple arcs, but also not put the pressure on them to do a monthly book. Some of our artists take 6 weeks, some of them take 8 weeks to do individual issues. And we just wanted to put these writers and artists in a position where they could do their best work. And I think that was something that was really attractive to people, where, it wouldn't be something where they would be grinding, 30 days a month for 6 months and just trying to be, get out of survival mode. We really want to give people the time to produce their best work, and also to know that we would be hiring the best creative team across the board, including colorists and letterers and the best design teams as well.
Yeah, I noticed that, especially on one of the books, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Sarah, where you got the colorist that's so famous.
Elizabeth Brettweiser.
Yeah.
Cody Belair for the Roxanne Gaming Doyle book. I mean, one of the things I think with newer companies, sometimes they'll spring for the writer or spring for the artist, but then the support team and the rest of the creative team are just, we want to make sure that the books are incredible across the board.
How do you approach being a new publisher? How do you approach a Garth Ennis and some of these famous artists, Steve Epting and stuff, and how do you approach them to make it attractive for them to do a book for you?
Well, I mean, I think it's certainly gotten easier since launching. Before we launched, there was a lot of cold calling and sometimes just walking up to people at conventions in Artist Alley, introducing ourselves. I mean, it certainly helped that we have Sebastian Gerner, who's our editor-in-chief. I mean, he's edited all of Rick Remender's image stuff, all of the Goddamned, the Jason Aaron book, and Southern Bastards. So going into it, we had somebody who clearly was well respected in comics as an editor. And I think that was the fact that we were able to get Sebastian on board because we were trying to do something new. I think that kind of went a long way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the leap of faith, I mean, for writers and artists to go for a newer company, I think, we were very grateful that they believed in us and they believed in what we were doing.
Yeah, and they turned out some superior work. I ordered the 3 books from you, and then I looked at Fearsome Dr. Fang, and I thought, do I really want Fearsome Dr. Fang? And so I digitally downloaded it, and it turned out to be my favorite book. Yeah. And I thought, what the heck was I thinking? Why didn't I just order this thing in the big, huge, nice trade paperback? I love 7 Deadly Sins. I loved Sarah. I loved Goodnight Paradise. I loved all 4 books. As I said, I did a review for them on my channel, and they were quality, top-notch reads. Okay. I was just really, really impressed with them. Coming from somebody that I had never heard of, I can't even remember what made me want to. I guess it must have been the fact that Garth Ennis is one of my favorite writers, and I thought, well, if he's writing for him, let me give everybody else a chance, and I just decided to go for it and read all 4 of them. You guys, I mean, I don't mean to take this over. Do you guys have some questions you'd like to ask?
Well, what I was wondering, and this is maybe, for Jess and for Z, is for my understanding with the business model and with the binge approach, which is an excellent idea, is not only are all the issues released at the same time for most of these titles, but so is the trade paperback and digital all at the same time, correct?
That's correct.
So you get to kind of pick your preferred format right out the gate. There's no waiting, there's no complications or anything like that. But speaking of complications, with that kind of a business model, what kind of challenges did you guys run into, and how did you overcome some of these struggles that you might have hit doing that type of business model?
Well, I mean, I think when we first started out, things that we talked about early on were we asked ourselves 3 questions at the beginning of every decision-making process when it came to the creative, the distribution model, everything. And those questions were, what's good for our creators, what's good for our fans, and what's good for comics. And if something didn't tick all 3 of those boxes, we'd have to try to figure out a new way of doing things. So I think when most people talk about the single issues and the trade paperbacks, the kind of common industry perception is that they cannibalize each other. But for us, we felt like that's kind of putting the company before the fans, and we want to provide people with just as many options as possible. I love single issues. That's something that, because I have that collector mentality, I've always bought stuff in single issues. Some people like trades, and we didn't want to kind of prioritize one over the other. People can enjoy comics in a variety of different formats, and we want to provide all of those. What we have found is that I think most people were thinking that the trades would be the lion's share of the sales, but really it's been 50-50 between trades and the single issues. So that was really, really that was the point where we thought, well, okay, well, if we lead with kind of doing what's right for the fans will kind of respond in terms of what they collect.
Well, that's interesting. You got a 50-50. Are you seeing people buying both, or do you think that it's just the collector and the reader base is really just split? That there is a dedicated group of people who read singles, and then a dedicated group who go strictly for trade paperbacks and collected editions?
I think that there's a Venn diagram. I mean, I think that there's people like me who, if they want the collector's box set, but they also want to have a trade that they can kind of bring around with them. What we have found, which was great, is that we only take on 4 books in each wave, and that was because we really wanted to be curated about the types of stories that we did, the books that we put out, and really have some pretty significant quality control over the books. And what we found, which I was surprised by, but also heartened by, is that most people, when they buy our books, they'll buy at least 2, most of the times 3, and there's certainly people who buy all 4 because there's just a certain person who wants, the whole shebang after reading 1 or 2 of them.
Nice. Very cool. I think we're doing a little bit of a disservice here to Z, Jess. We didn't talk about what titles are out there and who, like I said earlier, there's some great creators on these books. Do you want to run down who's doing what?
He has a box of his titles right with him, and I think we should highlight them. You're right.
Anybody watching now, not even in the chat, or anybody watching this on a repeat, the link to TKO Press is in the description. I'll put it in the chat as well, so you guys can check out these books too. There's some top-notch creators on here. If you haven't heard about this company before, the names of these creators is definitely going to spark your interest.
Yeah, and I will say that this is a fortuitous timing because TKO Presents is having a sale, a buy one. Let's see, wait, I have it right. Well, you'd know better than I do. It's
right now, TKOpresents.com, we have a buy one, get one free across all of our titles. So that's trade paperbacks and box sets, pretty much anything. So if you're curious about us, this is a great way to pick up 2 titles for the price of 1. And I have our first wave of titles here, which I can kind of go through. And first I'll kind of show you, and I'll talk a little bit about the second wave. So we binge release our titles. We binge release them in 3 formats. Digital is not pictured here, but we have the trade paperbacks. This is Sarah by Garth Ennis, Steve Epting, and Elizabeth Brettweiser. All of our books are also printed oversized, so they're about 1 inch taller than regular comics. So this is 6 issues. This is a Garth Ennis war story. It follows a group of female Russian snipers on the Eastern Front during World War II. Beautiful book. And in the box set, you'll see it's got cover and all 6 individual issues, also printed oversized, are inside. Epting did the same kind of digital painting that he did on velvet as the covers. So all these covers are really gorgeous.
Sold.
I'm not a single box set.
We have Midnight Paradise, which is by Joshua Dysart and Alberto Ponticelli, the team behind Unknown Soldier. Julia Brusco, the colorist from Scalped, did the colors on this. It was lettered by Steve Wands, who did a couple of our books. And all of our books are edited by Sebastian Gerner. So this is a really incredible personal story. It's a murder mystery set in the homeless population of Venice, California. And, it's kind of like The Wire or True Detective. The backdrop serves a really important part of it. And it's just really heart-wrenching, beautiful story.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, an incredible team. This is The Fearsome Dr. Fang. I co-wrote this with my friend Mike Weiss. Dan McDade, who's now on Firefly, did the artwork for it. Daniela Miwa did the colors. Steve Wands also did the lettering on this one.
And this is my favorite book. I love this book.
This is a kind of tongue-in-cheek reimagining of like a Fu Manchu style bad guy. It takes place in the early 1900s in San Francisco and China, and it's a globe-trotting action-adventure story. So basically says, what if the Fu Manchu bad guy from the Yellow Peril comics and stories was actually a good guy working undercover? He works with a San Francisco street cop and a female treasure hunter, and they go on this like Indiana Jones style adventure. It's a really fun kind of pulp adventure story.
Oh, I can't say enough about that book.
Thank you. I saw the review.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, thank you so much. This is The Seven Deadly Sins. This is the first comic I wrote. It's a Western. It was drawn by Artyom Trakhanov, who is a Russian artist. Julia Brusco did the colors for this as well. It was lettered by Jared K. Fletcher, who also did all of our design and our box design. It takes place a couple years after the American Civil War, and it follows a group of death row criminals who go on a suicide mission. But the main characters are kind of unlike other Western heroes that you've seen in like Gunsmoke or Bonanza. So we tried to create a really motley crew of bad guys who end up being our good guys. In the second wave of books, we have the first ever Jeff Lemire, Gabriel Walta collaboration. Gabriel Walta is hand painting every panel of that. That's called Sentient. We have the first ever Roxane Gay, Ming Doyle collaboration. Jordi Belair is doing the colors for that. We have a book with Natalie Paidez, who is a showrunner of Queen of the South. That's a thriller. Andy Bollinger, who did Southern Cross, is doing the artwork for that. And Daniela Miwa is doing the colors. That's called Pound for Pound. And we have a really cool survival horror story called Eve of Extinction, which is written by Salvatore and Stephen Simeone and drawn by Nick Varela and Isaac Goodhart and colored by Ruth Redmond, letters by Ariana Maher. So we're really excited about the second wave of books. They'll be out in August. And the books are all, the buy one, get one free is actually applicable to all of our titles, including pre-orders.
Including pre-orders. So if you go to TKO Presents, you can buy one, get one free on pre-orders too, which I am going to after this interview. I'm going to get those pre-orders.
How would you say is like your release schedule? What are you guys looking at? Like every 4 months, every 3 months, you're releasing a new set of books? I know it's probably hard to tell right now.
Right now, it looks like it's going to be 4 books every 6 to 9 months. So it'll be about 8 books a year, and then we'll probably have some other books that we kind of drop in from here to there, here and there.
I really, as somebody who is digital, I really like the concept of just everything in one day. You get the entire trade, you get the single issues, you get the digital collection. It just gives somebody like me so many different options. And me being a digital person, I'm looking at that box set going, wow, I really want that box set just because it looks really badass and it's got the single issues inside of it.
Well, I think that for us, we, I have a collector's mentality. I love the idea of comic books as art objects, and I love reading comics digitally as well. I mean, the colors on an iPad really pop, I find. But at the same time, we wanted, while I think there are some companies who have started to print on cheaper paper, the big two, their paper's gotten kind of thinner over the years. We want to kind of go the other route and to print on high quality paper, print in the United States, and deliver a book that not just has a great story and great artwork, but the actual physical copy of it really looks great on a bookshelf or in your hands.
Now, I noticed that you aren't writing any of these upcoming 4. Are you still planning on writing any books upcoming?
Yeah, I'll have a book in the 3rd wave.
The 3rd wave.
Yeah. It's so satisfying to write a comic book that I don't think I could really stop.
Will we be seeing any more of Dr. Fang?
I would like to have a second arc of Dr. Fang, certainly. It's just dependent on our artist schedule.
Okay. I would like to see a second arc also.
We, one of the things that we talked about when we started putting together the company and this release schedule was, all of our books, we want them to have a self-contained arc, but also be able to go on for 2nd and 3rd arcs and on and on.
Now, are these books available overseas at all?
They are. I mean, you can order off TKO Presents overseas. Comic book shops overseas have been a really heavy proponent of our books. So OK Comics in England, Radar in Spain. We have a good relationship with all the Forbidden Planet stores all over the UK. And then we're looking into the licensing aspect of it as well right now.
So we got some good questions in the chat as well. Some of these I think we might have covered, but I just want to give everybody who's watching and offering up questions a shout out. Ezra Land one is what's coming up next from TKO. I think we already figured that out very well, which is great. Kenny Crayley, good old Kenny Crayley, a longtime watcher of the show, says, as a newer company, are there a lot of challenges putting an indie book out as opposed to the big two like Marvel or a DC?
I mean, I don't have experience with Marvel and DC. I mean, there's challenges at TKO that I think you would find with any kind of startup. We had a very specific business model that we were pursuing. And like any startup, there's kind of things you have to learn. The main thing is, as a new company, the idea of staying limber and learning as you go and making decisions very quickly. I mean, one of the things that we pride ourselves on, Salvatore, my co-founder, he started, a dozen companies, and he's seen a lot of them go on to massive success. And one of the things that he really prides himself on is we have the ability to work like a big company, but at the same time, the decision-making center of our company is very small. So it's a very core group of us. And so when there's an obstacle that comes around, we can move very, very quickly, much faster than any other company out there.
Excellent. So Forge Ryley in the chat's really blowing up. Goodnight Paradise. He says, not blowing smoke, 100% agree with Jess. All 4 books are great. Goodnight Paradise was my favorite, and he says it's an A+. Nash Villain says he just ordered all 4, and he hopes that they stick to the miniseries format.
Chase Chu says, does the trade also feature the single issue covers?
They don't in the first wave. We're going to start doing that with the second wave.
Okay.
And a big question we keep getting in the chat too is because we're all big collectors of oversized hardcovers. Any plans for like deluxe hardcovers of these titles?
Yeah, certainly down the road. I mean, one of the things that we were very conscious of during the development process was making sure that we kept all the character designs, the scripts, and archived them. There's just a wealth of material that could certainly build out a really beautiful hardcover.
Excellent.
Nice.
So this is actually my question. I kind of want to get to the bottom of this a little bit. You don't distribute through Diamond, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So me as a retailer, I do a lot of ordering for my store.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of ordering for Torpedo Comics here in Vegas.
Cool.
I need to get in contact with you or somebody somehow because I need to start putting these books on my shelf. So how does a store, or how do people like me can get these things into a retail shop?
So we know that we're obviously selling direct to customers, but we also know that, comic book stores are a really important part of comic book culture. It's where I fell in love with comics, and I think it's where a lot of people still discover new comics. And so we want to make sure that we create like an incredible deal for retailers. So what we do is you can email us at sales@tkopresents.com. Super easy. We make it incredibly easy to order. It's like a point-and-click ordering system. We offer a 50% discount off of all of our books, and we pay for shipping. We have great customer service. And, one of the things that we do is, so we want to create, part of the reason we're not going through Diamond is that we have the infrastructure to do fulfillment ourselves, but also we didn't want to be tied to that release schedule. We want to make sure that retailers, if they sold out, could order and have the books back on their shelves in 2 to 5 business days. So one of the things that we found is, first off, when we first announced the company on Twitter, we were actually blown away by the number of retailers who contacted us. So we have all these retailers who order from us. And one of the great things about our ordering system is we don't put the pressure on retailers to over-order. We always tell our retailers, order the number that you conservatively think you can sell, We don't want to put you at risk. We know that in this system, you're fronting money, and it's always a risk to go with a new company. Order the amount that you feel that you can conservatively sell. And when you sell out, you know that you can get the books back on your shelves very quickly. So we have some retailers early on, before they started, getting into the swing of things and ordering larger quantities, that would order 2-3 times a month. They would order, sell out, and order again. And it was just something where we wanted to take the stress out of the ordering system for retailers, where they wouldn't have to front massive amounts of money, and to put them kind of back into the driver's seat with ordering.
Good. I like the idea of that, because when you reorder through Diamond, your discount changes. So it sounds like with you, if I order through you, I'll email you guys like right after this, 100%, start getting these orders started. It'll always be 50% off.
Always.
So that's great. Yeah, because like I said, with Diamond, yeah, we sell out and we make more orders through Diamond, our discount goes from, X% down like an extra 5%. So
and
the reordering is a little bit more of a struggle. So yeah, this is awesome, Z. I can't wait to get a hold of these.
And we want to even the playing field a little bit too. It doesn't matter if you order 100 books or 1 book. The discount is the same. So somebody with a little shop, we're not going to. That's the person who, we don't want to squeeze that person. We're just thankful that they're interested in our book, even if they're only stocking 1 copy of the trades each. We're very happy to do that deal.
Excellent. Yeah, these are going to look good on the shelf. I'm gonna, especially those box sets. Those box sets are going to look nice. I think we're going to make this happen. Excellent. You got one more retailer backing you up.
Yeah, you want these books in your store, Gabe. They are really cool.
I want them on my shelf too, Jess, and I get them at a discount through my store.
Okay. So let's see. We've covered the first wave and the second wave and the marketing strategy. Is there? Have we missed anything that you would like to talk about? Luis or Z? What have we not covered? I feel like we've covered a lot.
I wanted to ask him, coming from a background in film and I'm assuming script writing and working in television and different projects, would you say that has, excuse me, would you say that has kind of helped you as you've kind of started your career in writing comics? Because I know writing script and writing comics is a different ballgame as far as pacing and writing panels and things like that.
Yeah, I think Sebastian was very, very helpful in my own personal work as I was writing these 2 books in the first wave. Sebastian Grinner, our editor-in-chief, he really taught me the formatting of a comic book. I had come up drawing and writing my own comics, but, it was when I was a teenager, really not a professional. So it certainly helped. I also think that being in writers' rooms for the last 5 years, it was helpful in terms of the collaborative nature of this process, but it's incredibly fulfilling. And I absolutely love writing comics, and it's something that is just so incredibly fun.
I wanted to ask, what would be probably the best advice you would give somebody that is trying to just break into the industry, or maybe even trying to pitch to TKO? What would your 2 cents be to somebody like that who's just starting out?
I think for somebody who's just starting out, the thing that I learned early on, because I came up through independent film, was that there's kind of nothing holding you back. I think if you can put in the work and write and hustle to put together these projects, what I find incredible right now is the amount of access that people have to not only other creators via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, social media. You can log on and you can see other people's work just in a scroll right in front of you, to be able to reach out to potential collaborators. It feels like it's never been as accessible as it is now. And with Kickstarter and that kind of audience building, I feel like it feels like a golden age of comic book creation. I certainly, when I go into a comic book store right now and I look at the titles that are on the shelves, I think creatively the comic book industry has never been better, even if I think the industry infrastructure has not necessarily evolved in the same way. And that's kind of what we're trying to do with TKO. But creatively, no complaints. I mean, I love so many books out there. There's almost too much out there right now.
Forgerelli asks a good question. Are you happy with the success of the book so far?
We are. We're really happy, and we're also just really thankful. You know, I think that the comics community has been so welcoming, and you know, we're trying a lot of new things, and I think there was a question mark as we were launching how many things people would accept, but just the fan reaction so far has been amazing, and we're just very thankful for, you know, things like this, you know, being able to talk to people who are excited about our company and excited about our books.
Oh, that's great. I'm very well. Of course, I'm biased because I loved all your books. So, so yeah, let's reiterate that at tkopresents.com, it's buy one get one free, including the books that come out in August, the pre-orders, Wave 2. And this is Z Chun, the co-founder of TKO Presents. And Gabe is going to get them in his store right after this. And Lou is going to buy them in floppy form because he wants to collect them in floppy form, even though he's a completely digital collector now.
I'm actually working on orders right now.
Oh, you are?
With the other guys from the store, and hey, man, you know, I think we saw you guys. Well, what conventions are you guys attending, Z? Because I think we might have ran by you before at a convention.
We went to a few when it was just me and Sebastian, our editor in chief. That was more of like talent outreach earlier on this year.
Okay.
And then I think we're putting together some stuff. We're not sure exactly what our convention schedule is going to look like.
All right, cool.
I know you guys are kind of doing everything through your own site, but any plans on expanding digitally to like Comixology or?
Oh, yeah, we're on Comixology right now.
You are? Okay, cool.
Yeah. So you can check us out on Comixology. We have all our single issues and our trades. And right now on Comixology, the first issue is free to read as well. So you can read it right on Comixology and sample.
Right on.
I think I know the answer to this question, but it says, Joe Chip asks, is this offer valid for Canada or just the US, the buy one, get one free?
I think it's everywhere.
It's everywhere, but you probably have to pay a little extra for shipping to Canada?
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. The shipping to Canada still seems a little high to me, but with the buy one, get one free, there's also no limit. So you could get all 4 titles for the price of 2. And shipping, I think, should be about $15, $20.
Okay. And Jake makes a good point. Jake Forgerelli, make sure to buy the books from TKO directly instead of on Amazon. Amazon seller fees are not cheap. Okay. Jake knows the book industry backwards and forwards. Jake Knapp says, I have them all in trade at the moment, loved all of them, and I'm itching for a Dr. Fang sequel. Are there any plans on any 12-issue TKO books?
We certainly talked about it. You know, I think that our business model could support it, but we wanted to, because of the amount of time it takes to put together a 12-issue series and binge release it, we were more conservative right now about the 6 issues. But certainly we've been talking to people about longer arcs.
And Benjamin Pinheiro says, I have a question. I get that because of TKO's business model right now, they need superstar creators for their first waves of books. Are you open to incorporate new creators in the near future? And what kind of stories are you looking for?
So in the 3rd and 4th wave, there will certainly be more up-and-coming creators within our release schedule. In terms of the stuff that we're looking for, we don't do any superhero books. That's just because, you know, even though I love superhero books, that marketplace is very well served by the big 2. So we really only do new takes on established genres. So something like sci-fi, fantasy, Western, something like Goodnight Paradise. It's a murder mystery, but you know, I like to think of it as a murder mystery unlike anything you've seen before. So that genre can be kind of twisted pretty heavily, but we do like having something with some genre bones to it.
Interesting. Very interesting. Good question, Benjamin. Okay, you guys help me keep this going.
Well, if there's nothing else, you can follow us at TKO Presents across all social media. So we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We post kind of on Instagram, it's a little more art heavy, but we post kind of behind the scenes stuff, pencils to inks, color, process. Twitter is a great place to engage with us and meet other TKO fans. We're really active on social media, so please follow us across those 3 platforms.
I was just looking at your website right now because I'm looking at placing an order for a set of these.
Yeah, we all just got super baited really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, both these guys are ordering while we're interviewing you.
Do you have you have so many great creators? I mean, you got Gabriel Walta who did Vision. You got Jeff Lemire. And you got Garth Ennis. Do you have like a dream team set up, or do you have more big name creators kind of in the behind the scenes that you're working on?
We do, and I think that for us, it wasn't just about putting the best creators that we could find or the top creators that we could find together. It was really finding people who are really right for the project. I think for Jeff's story, it was for Sentient, which is on our second wave. It's a sci-fi story with a colony ship where all the adults are killed through some event, and the kids are left to kind of fend for themselves. And their only kind of parental figure is an AI, the onboard AI for the ship. And we talked about a lot of different artists, but Jeff's storytelling is so emotional.
Oh yeah,
and we've seen so much emotion in Gabriel's work in Vision and his character design and his acting, and we really want to find the best possible collaborator for this specific book. So we really pride ourselves in finding the team up that's right for a particular project.
Here's a good question. Are there any plans to kind of like a longer format instead of the 6 issues, like say 12 issues?
I already asked that one.
Oh, did you? For Dr. Fang, I was gonna ask.
Yeah, we need 5 Dr.
Fang
Fang
be the
books.
winner. I love the photograph you have framed behind you.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have awesome to switch it out. It's my wife gave it to me. It's a Ai Weiwei photograph of, I think, him flipping off the Forbidden Palace in China. So not really work appropriate, but I felt that I just kept my head right here.
No worries, man. This is not the most family friendly show. So
no, well, you've also got a drawing up on your wall that has a specific word that's probably going to get this demonetized anyway, so it doesn't matter.
It says "fuck" everybody.
We don't care. We don't care. It's fine. It doesn't matter a bit. Benjamin has another question. Do you think the comic book industry would benefit from changing the current distribution model? Are single issues destined to disappear in favor of collected editions?
Well, I mean, I think that there's, we've been focusing a lot more on what we've been doing rather than what the other companies have been doing. But I think that what was really satisfying about releasing the single issues alongside the trade paperback was that the single issues were really holding their own as well. And I do think that for a certain type of collector like me, like I just love single issues. I mean, that's what I grew up reading, and there's a certain comfort to it. And I mean, I just love the way that they look. So for us, single issues are here to stay. I can't really speak to other companies and what their business model are, but we wanted to do what we thought was cool and would appeal to fans, and that's kind of what we did.
Well, Nash Villains has something that he feels is important to say. I feel a bit shy to say this, but it's important and inspiring to me to see a person of color, specifically Asian, leading a company in a creative industry in this country. It's awesome.
Thank you.
So all these titles that these creators are doing, are they creator owned, or how does that actually work, would you say?
So we try to do things, and again, we try to be very transparent about everything that we do. So one of the things that we do is the books are not creator owned, but we try to build in the protections that you would get if it was a creator owned book. When we looked at the industry and how creators are kind of cut in to books, we tried to figure out something that would be the best of both worlds, combining things that we thought were good about the big two and also about Image. So all of our creators, we match Marvel and DC's page rates up front, so no one's starving as they're trying to put together their dream project, and then they have a significant back end as well.
Mm.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because a lot of these seem like they would really lend themselves to maybe even like an HBO miniseries, something along the lines of what they just did with Chernobyl. For example, with Garth Ennis' story, just based on the description, I could totally see just a miniseries coming out of that, and I would wonder how that would work as far as do the creators.
The creators are benefiting from that as well. The creators are benefiting from every dollar that comes into the company from their specific title.
Oh, that's cool.
I need to get Garth Ennis into the store to do a signing. Same with Jeff Lemire.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just sent my email. So whoever does your sales online, hopefully they get back to me soon and we'll make an order. But that's going to happen.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much. This was so fun to talk to you guys.
Well, thank you very much for your appearance. This has been an excellent interview, super informative, and you are a great guy putting out a great product, and we are excited to see the new wave come out.
Yes, us too. We're super appreciative of you guys, and thank you so much for taking the time.
No, thank you for taking the time, and thank you for actually doing something different in the comic book industry. This whole binge approach is the wave of the future, and it's good to see somebody jumping in the deep end and making it happen. So
yeah, it's exciting.
Yep.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Now you got to go spend some Rockstar money.
That was good. He was awesome. He was,
He
really
was awesome.
God, those books look awesome.
Oh, they're so good, Gabe.
I heard
they
of it before.
So good.
I've heard of it before because I know it was all over the group when they announced it and stuff like that, and just I didn't really just look into it. And I'm really, really glad that he came in and he wasn't like used car salesman-y about it at all. He kind of really let the work itself kind of sell the books. So
right,
they're going to show up in Torpedo for sure.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, once you read them, you will be the best salesman for them because you're going to love them, and it'll just come naturally for you to recommend them. They are such high quality books, so well written, so well drawn. And he made a big emphasis on the coloring in them too, where he got the top colorists to take part in them too. And the oversized trades are so nice. And then the single issues come in that special deluxe box, and they're so cool. If I was still collecting singles, that's what I would have gone for. They're so cool.
That box set, the box itself is going to sell. I'm going to put those on the counter, or you get the merchandise them a different way, but they're very eye catching. They're not gonna last, I think.
Yeah,
you show that off on the camera. That's the first time that I've seen the box set, like somebody show it off.
Yeah.
And man, it really just pops. It catches your eye.
Yeah. Garth Ennis, man, come on. Him and Steve Epting together. I mean, come on. That's peanut butter and chocolate right there, everybody.
Yeah, and Elizabeth Brettweiser, she's a famous, colorist too. She did the coloring on that.
Yeah, she does a lot of the coloring for Criminal, right? Doesn't she work a lot with the Brubaker? So
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So
I'm gonna put my fingers crossed. He's Image exclusive. Well, whenever Brubaker decides, I've got my fingers crossed that they'll put something out with these guys.
Yeah, and the books and the paper stock is really nice, and it's nice thick quality, and I can't say enough about the books. I'm really excited that we had him on.
Yeah, and hey, he knows that people want hardcovers, so hopefully that'll be a step for them coming up soon as well.
I would love to see some of these in like the absolute size format.
I just like the idea that it's oversized. Period. Especially like Gabriel Wata's artwork is fantastic. Steve Epting. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So what's up next? What do we want to do next?
We can do previews. I mean, I have a ton of hauls, but that can wait till next week. Because I didn't read Jack Diddley Wah. We can do. I think people more come for the previews than they really do
Cool. It's an all right week, so let's get that started because
Okay.
I'm sure we're going to talk about one book for a little bit for sure.
I think it's a pretty light week overall.
Yeah, there is
Yeah, but
one book.
one book is making the whole week for myself. I think.
Yeah, there's one book that a lot of people are interested in.
God, I really want all these TKO books.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, dude, I can't wait to get them in the shop because, like I said, I'm gonna get them.
I'm
I'm gonna
tempted
get them at. I'm gonna get them at a. Basically, well, I'll be getting them at the same price that everybody else is getting them. Buy one get one free. So
Yeah.
I'm tempted just to go digital with them so I can get them right now when I get my summer money next week.
Yeah, they do pop on the screen. I have Dr. Fang on digitally, and it does pop on that screen.
Oh,
well, the first ones are free, so you go ahead and just check them out on Comixology. He was saying.
oh no, I know I'm gonna want all of them.
You're going in. You're going all the way.
I know I'm gonna end up going all in.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and start this up. Here's the trade paperbacks, graphic novels, collected editions releases for this week, the week of June 5, 2019. There's some good stuff on here this week. We're going to start out, as always, at the top here with Image Comics. We got Cemetery Beach by Warren Ellis and Jason Howard. That's the team that did Trees.
How come I've never heard of this?
No, it's I've been hearing good stuff about it, and I loved Trees. And I guess
Wait,
Jason Howard's working on the last thing of Trees too.
Cemetery Beach by Ellis?
That's Warren Ellis,
Yeah.
yes, sir. And Jason Howard.
That's the Trees team. Hey, Gio. Hi, Gio.
What?
Am I late?
Thanks
I
for
late?
monitoring the chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say thanks for keeping all those knuckleheads in check.
Chat was great. So now I can join with you guys.
Yeah, that's another thing. Too. Thanks to the chat. There's some really good questions.
There was a lot of good questions in the chat. Good job to the chat tonight.
Not just that, but good job. They were ahead of the game. A lot of the people in the chat already had these books ready to go, and they already had them and read them and had good things to say. So
Yeah, there
that
was
makes us
lots
look
of good
good,
stuff
too.
in the chat.
All right. So Gio, have you heard of Cemetery Beach?
Nope.
All right.
I hadn't even heard of it. I've heard
I
of this
had no
next
idea.
book.
Die is awesome.
Yeah,
Die
that's
is
what I've heard.
It's a $10 book from Image.
It's also 50% off.
So it's a $5
Nice.
book. This is very much kind of like It, where you get the same characters who were young, and then you get them when they were older, and they have to kind of battle some horror. But they use it with the power of gaming dice, from my understanding. That's why it's called Die. It's all about gaming dice. And each person gets one single die, and it's each a different die. So one person gets the D20, one person gets a D, whatever the other dice are. And that's their weapon, basically, to take care of this situation. It's described in here as a goth Jumanji. So I'm totally interested in this. This is 1 through 5.
Yeah, for $5. How can you go wrong?
Exactly.
Basically $1 per issue.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. For sure. And it's great. $5. If you're a couple bucks short of that $50 mark through in-stock trades, that'll be it for that free shipping. So did you ever do our IST plug?
Oh, hell no.
Yes.
He was right there. Good heavens. I apologize to InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add another 2% to that. It's June, so I have a feeling the Omniboslive discount code is coming up. Over $50 in the United States gets you free shipping. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
All right. So then we also have /Omnibus Volume 6. It's kind of crazy.
I've never read it, but I'm a slasher fan, so I know this was right up my alley.
You'll like it. If you like slasher stuff, it's basically follows this woman, I believe her name is Casey, and she is that kind of slasher film trope where she is the last surviving member of a slasher attack. and now she's on the hunt for other slashers and serial killers. And then you have Man Eaters Volume 2.
Ooh, that's already out. Great. I just got Man Eaters #1. Awesome.
And Mirror the Nest trade paperback. So with IST, these will their site will update tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific. So you guys can start getting that ready.
Oh, Benjamin Pineros, thank you for the nice compliment in the chat. I appreciate that. Talking about my new horror channel, horror film review channel. Thank you. He knows his scary movies too. That guy knows his stuff.
And then coming up for Dark Horrors, we have City of Others hardcover, 10th anniversary edition. I don't know what this is. Dagna Rampa. Volume 2.
No idea.
No idea. Something called Toy Story. I don't. Masked Empire. Another mind management omnibus. Minecraft, and then this is something I don't know if I ordered this from the store or not, but my wife loves Tara McPherson, and this is another cool art book of hers. IDW has got Bravo for Adventure, Impossible Incorporated, and Star Wars Adventures. That's a good kids book if you have youngsters and they like Star Wars and you want them to start to read. Star Wars Adventures is great. All right, DC, we're coming up with the big book for this week, everybody, and that is literally and figuratively described with Blackest Night 10th anniversary omnibus.
This is 50% off.
All right, so half off. This is $150. So this is automatically qualifies for the free shipping through in-stock trades.
Oh, that's a big book.
There's some pictures that showed up on, I think it might be on our Instagram, Omnibros but I know it also for sure showed up on the group. This thing is huge. I think somebody said it was over 1,600 pages. So it's a pretty massive book.
That's so ridiculously big.
You could literally kill someone by throwing that book at them.
Absolutely.
Is that how big this is?
What do you mean how big it is?
Yeah, is it like Colossal Conan size? Because I think Colossal Conan.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
It's whatever 1,600 pages thick looks like.
I'll
It's
show
thick
you
as
that.
thick. So let's go over this real quick because this is the big one. I'm sure there's going to be some questions coming up. Hardcover, this includes the Blackest Night 0 through 8 issues. Adventure Comics 4, 5, and 7. Blackest Night Batman 1 through 3. Blackest Night Flash 1 through 3. Blackest Night JSA 1 through 3. Blackest Night Superman 1 through 3. Blackest Night Titans 1 through 3. Blackest Night Wonder Woman 1 through 3. Catwoman 83. Green Arrow 40. Green Lantern 43 through 52. Green Lantern Core 39 through 47.
Oh.
Phantom Stranger 42. The Atom and Hawkman 46. Power Shazam 48. Question 37. Weird Western Tales 71 and more. I don't know what the more is.
That sounds like the whole event.
It's everything. It's not on here. Maybe it's the and more, but I think there's a couple booster gold issues that tied in with Blackest Night that I don't see on the list, but that might be the and more part. But this is crazy. So if you have, I think most of us here on the show had the Jeff Johns Green Lantern Omnibus collections, all 3 hardcovers.
Mm-hmm.
It does double dip, but you're only double dipping Blackest Night 0 through 8 and the Green Lantern 43 through 52. So there's a lot more in here that hasn't been collected together as a Blackest Night event before. I don't even know if the Green Lantern Core has ever really been collected in a hardcover before.
I don't think it has.
So there's a lot of first-time collections in here. This is definitely the first time that everything has been put together in one complete volume. So this to me is my favorite era of Green Lantern, and it's honestly for me about the end of the good Green Lantern stuff because I wasn't a big fan of not Blackest Night, but Brightest Day. But you couldn't get much bigger than this. This Blackest Night event, when this was coming out, took over the comic book industry for a very long time. Toys were coming out. There was T-shirts. Good lore. Everybody had like card decals of their favorite core, stuff like that. So this is an extremely relevant storyline, and I think is worth every penny.
Yeah, it was a great event.
And if you've never read it before, you're in for something. You're in for a treat. And if you don't have the Jeff Johns Green Lantern omnibuses already, then this is definitely a must-have if you're a Green Lantern fan.
Our buddy Sean got a tattoo. He got the Black Lantern.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Sean does. Yeah, he has all those villain tattoos. He has the Black Lantern one. Moving on to DC, Dreaming trade paperback volume 1. Imaginary Fiends trade paperback. That's a nice, good horror book there. You might be interested in that, Jess.
That's 50% off, I believe. Wait, let me double check. I'm almost positive. It is 50% off. I am interested in that. I actually might be interested in a few things this week. I thought it was going to be nada.
No, there's some good stuff besides Black Lantern or Blackest Night. Then we have Nightwing.
That's 50% off.
That's a new jumping on point for anybody who's interested in Nightwing. A big change to the status quo. That starts with a bullet to the head.
Oh,
literally.
Powers trade paperback volume 5. And Marvel, we have whatever this Adventures of Spider-Man graphic novel is. Avengers by Jason Aaron, volume 3. Captain America trade paperback. Cloak and Dagger trade paperback. Daredevil epic collection called Purgatory and I don't know what the rest of it's called. Anybody who likes art books and Scotty Young baby stuff, Marvel's coming out with a whole hardcover of Scotty Young artwork.
That is 50% off.
Cool.
Marvel Knights Punisher by Garth Ennis complete collection. Another great kids book of Marvel superheroes adventures. Solo trade paperback and the Spider-Man Far From Home Prelude trade paperback. Boom Studios has Hotel Dare, which sounds naughtier than it probably should. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Lost Chronicles Volume 2, and Thrilling Adventure Hour. And then down here, Gio, anybody else, let me know if there's anything here that is of interest to you guys.
Bloom Into You is a top seller. Boruto is a top seller. The Dragon Ball sets, I think they're going to sell pretty well. I think In-Star Trades will sell them as well.
Yeah, let's see. They do sell them. Dragon Ball sets are 30% off each. That's pretty good for those big box sets.
Yeah.
You get the whole series.
Well, considering that, it's 26 volumes and each volume is about $10. So it's a good deal to begin with, and then you get an extra 30% off on top of it. Yeah.
It's a lot of books.
Yeah, I think we're ordering it for the store, and I think we're just going to break it up. Something called Ninja Baseball Blast. It's crazy.
Never heard of that. Made in Abyss is pretty good.
Another My Hero Academia, Volume 19.
Yes. Promised Neverland, that's also a good title. People should check out. And I
always like these Smurf books from Paper Cuts. They're pretty fun.
Are they still doing like the bi-monthly My Hero releases, or have they kind of spaced them out a lot more, June?
I think it's bi-monthly. I think. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Don't pay attention to what I'm saying.
And that's it for previews. Let us know in the chat what you guys are going to pick up. If you have any questions or anything like that.
Now, did you guys think you had something to say about Berserk?
Berserk is awesome. It's life. Everybody should read it.
I know, but did you think it was getting a reprint this week?
Isn't it? I thought I saw in the solicitation that the first volume is getting a reprint.
Okay, I didn't see it in previews or on IST.
I don't think it was reprinted. I don't think it was like resolicited. They just went back to print on it. I don't think they made a new listing for it because I have some order already.
InStock Trade has it on their website and other websites too.
Oh, okay.
Have it as well.
Yeah. The only time you'll see it is if they do like a new solicit for it and it has like a new like diamond code. Usually it's when they reprint something and like the price goes up. Or
okay. So it's just like been up there.
Just reprinted and just back in the stock.
Joe Chip, yeah, I'll do Nail Biter this month. Ooh. I'm happy to. And Omnipool, yeah, that my scary movie channel is going to be a weekly thing. It's with Jenny, and she knows her horror movies, and we're going to do it every Saturday. We're going to watch 2 scary movies, and we're watching Hereditary and Veronica this week. And Veronica is going to scare the heck out of me because it is dealing with Ouija boards, which scare the hell out of me. I hate Ouija boards, and I'm going to be watching it from behind the couch.
Yeah.
Jess, can I?
Oh man,
please! I love Hereditary and Veronica. Please.
Leave?
Can I be on?
I know it's gonna freak me out. I know, but she eats the stuff up. Jenny does. She just loves it. It'd be 5 movies a week if she talked me into it. That's her passion, is watching these movies.
Jess, do you have all the Nail Biter hardcovers?
I do. Yeah, I just got the 3rd one, and so Joe Chip wants me to review them.
Yep.
Oh, and thank you, Joe Chip. I appreciate that. Don't you dare send me anything, Nash Villains. Don't you dare send me a Ouija board. That thing's going straight into the wood chipper. I won't even open anything from you. I won't even open anything from you. It's going straight into the garbage. It's going into somebody else's garbage. I don't even want it on my lot. Don't you dare send it to me.
Order it through Amazon as a gift so that your name doesn't show up on the package.
Don't you dare.
Pour some root beer on it and then set it on fire and live stream it.
And watch the little thingy come up and jab me in the eye.
I was going to say, do you want your house haunted? Because that's how you get your house haunted.
Yeah, I agree. Those things freak me out like nothing else.
I mean,
I remember I used to sell those at like KB Toys when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But what if you get like a funny ghost? You know?
That's
what
I'll
have to be like a murdering ghost. It could be a funny ghost, you know, former comedian. I don't know.
Former comedian.
Fire in his living room.
A former comedian ghost.
You're all by yourself in the house, and then you hear a tutum, and you know it's the ghost just hanging around.
Take my wife, please. Oh my God, that's great. Oh boy. Okay, so where are we with people are just talking about scary movies now.
everybody wants to send just a Ouija board now.
Yeah, please do not. No. I'm not kidding. I'd rather you send me Nightfall. Do not send me Ouija boards. I mean, if I get any packages, peace and love, peace and love. Do not send me any packages that are even look like this, or I will toss them immediately into the fireplace and have ghostly skulls explode. I am not accepting any packages from any address.
I know exactly why you just burst out laughing, Gio. Oh.
I think I see what you're talking about too.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're really that superstitious, huh? For Ouija boards and stuff like that?
I'm not superstitious. I'm super freaked out.
Oh, okay.
They just freak
they creep
me
out as well. I wouldn't.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh man.
Oh man. Yeah. No, not into it.
They've never bothered me. Like I've been to parties where they'll freak it out.
Oh no. No, I go to a party where there's one of those things. I am out the door. You do not want to play around with those things.
How about a Nightfall Ouija board?
Now I know I am in hell.
The ghost of 90s Batman shows up.
With all these things sticking off him.
Oh man, I'm gonna do that right now.
It's really sharp. A Ouija board designed by Kirkman. Wasn't that a toy? Like, where did this stuff come from exactly? Because as far as I remember, Ouija boards were just stuff. I used to remember watching commercials about Ouija boards as a kid.
Oh yeah,
I used to be able to get them at KB Toy Store, but me and my friends would just play it and do stupid stuff like, Ouija board says Gabe is gay. You know, it was stupid stuff like that. You know, like there was never like a serious thing, but you know, your parents catch you with it. That was it.
What if TKO puts out a book that has a Ouija board in it?
Hey, there was a movie.
Not buying it.
There was a movie a few years ago.
Somebody should just put a Ouija board tattoo on Jess's back.
This is probably the best time for me to talk about InStockTrades.com, so we can change the subject. InStockTrades.com, where you can get 50% off your Ouija, your InStock, your collected editions. 2% extra loyalty discounts if you order from the week before. You get 2% off loyalty discounts. That's right. It's June, so I'm assuming this is the month we're going to get an Omnibroslive discount code. I assume. I may be wrong. You never know. Over $50 in the United States on an order, you get free shipping. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
Nice.
All right. I'm good if you guys are good.
Okay. Gio, where can they find you?
You can find me not getting a Ouija board at A Week in Geekdom on YouTube, where I talk about anime, manga, movies, and other cool stuff. Just type A Week in Geekdom here on YouTube and subscribe. Maybe. I don't know.
Nice. Lou, where can they find you?
You can find me summoning the Dark Lord Satan using a Ouija board. Now you can find me at Comics Guide 101 on Facebook and Twitter.
Gabe, how about you, big guy?
Instagram, Gabe Infinity Watch, and the Omnibus Collectors Facebook group.
And you can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube, Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram, and on Saturdays, A Walk in the Woods at Midnight. Scary movie review where I'm reviewing some movie with Ouija boards.
We're all gonna go to Justin's house and have like a old school sleepover where we're gonna play light as a feather, stiff as a board.
What the hell is that?
Oh boy. What is that?
Nobody knows what that is? It's like a weird like seance type game where somebody lays in a circle of friends and you put a couple fingers underneath them. It sounds really dirty. And through the powers of the Ouija board or whatever, you could lift them up using just your couple of fingers. And then we do each other's hair.
Yeah.
Except mine.
I'm going to have trouble sleeping tonight.
With all this stuff you keep saying you don't want, you're just asking for a really awesome Christmas this year.
All I want for Christmas is those Fast and Furious movies.
You're gonna get a Ouija board box. You're gonna get
yes,
Omnibus.
Those, forget it. Okay, so on behalf of the Omnibros, the chat was really great until it broke out into Ouija board madness. When our TKO guest was on, the chat was amazing. So thank you, chat. I appreciate it. Thank you to all of you who watched. We enjoyed having you watch us. And as usual, peace and love, peace and love.